Playboi Carti is well known for delaying projects or not releasing them at all, a characteristic that has been present throughout his whole career. The year is 2024 and fans are starving, awaiting for a follow-up to his critically acclaimed album Whole Lotta Red, which he has been teasing for the last 3 years and has gone through many variations. Over the last year, Carti has drip-fed fans with his latest concept, I Am Music, which has felt like just an inch away since December 2023. However, the release of Playboi Carti's imminent third studio album is looking more promising than ever. Let me explain the story. The rollout began in 2023 when the idea of Carti dropping anytime soon would begin when he would feature on Travis Scott's Fiend in late July. This was the first song released with Carti's deep voice, something that had been in the lab for over 2 years. A polarising development in Carti's sound, known famously for his baby voice cadence. Listeners were confused. This wasn't the Carti that they were used to. Some claimed it was Homicide Michi and even Lil Yachty.
Is that Yachty?
Who's that? There's no way that's him.
But for those who knew...
Oh my god!
Fiend blew up and became a concert anthem, becoming the most streamed song on Utopia, marking it a success for both artists. Carti would stay relatively dormant for the next few months. A birthday party event in which collabs with Travis Scott and Lil Uzi Vert would be previewed, Problem Child and Vetamont's Jeans, then silence. In November, he would feature in 2 magazines, Numero Berlin and Reedition. The former featured a written interview in which Carti gave vague answers to, still leaving fans in speculation about the album. Answers would come soon. December 7th, 2023. Carti posts a picture of himself alongside an I Am Music logo, as well as Pharrell Williams posting Prepare alongside the logo on his Twitter. This was exciting as Carti had previously hinted at working with Pharrell during the Whole Lotta Red rollout, even though nothing came of it. The next day, Carti would drop Different Day to his spam account on Instagram. People were in disbelief as this was the first time Carti had released any music since 2020, 3 whole years. This song utilised a developed baby voice that some like to call the whisper voice, making it digestible by past and present fans as it felt familiar. A song followed every week or so. 2024, Hood by Air, Backrooms and Evil Jordan, which adopted the deep voice, and the majority were produced by Cardo Got Wings, a great who has worked with the likes of Drake, Kendrick Lamar and Travis Scott. We would later find out that Carti has been working with him for years behind the scenes to develop a new sound described as burnt music. Cardo also mentions that they were heavily inspired by John Carpenter, a multimedia master known as a legend of the horror film genre in the 1970s. This alluded to a dark and grungy album direction. The songs were infamously announced by Black Hane, known for his abstract choreography and for being affiliated with Kanye West, but is recognised now by
Carti dropping again! Tonight!
This rollout felt real. Music was releasing. Carti's social media activity was at an all-time high. In addition, he would post text conversations with Tyler the Creator, Drake, and Kanye West, sharing that they were potentially involved with the project. The album was originally speculated to drop in January 2024, despite no confirmation whatsoever from Carti himself. The month would go by. No album dropped. Activity slowly declined after the release of Evil Jordan, as if he had forgotten that he was supposed to be capitalising on the huge amounts of hype he had. Why would he go inactive during peak hype? It was clear to no one. Rumours spread that it was the fault of Kanye West, who had little involvement in the album until 2024, which he had production credits on. It's said that he convinced Carti to delay his album so he could be featured on Vulture's One, which was planned for late December and released in February. This ended up being a good decision as he was featured on Carnival and Fuck Some. The former blew up on TikTok and reached number 1 on the Billboard Top 100. In March, following the Aiden Ross incident,
I love you. I love you.
the last Instagram song, Ketamine, would be released. This would be the last of Carti's constant activity, leaving fans confused and frustrated. And let's not forget DJ Swamp Izzo, another crucial character who has suffered due to Carti's inability to drop. He's a legendary DJ from Atlanta who has worked with the likes of Future and Young Thug. He announced that his and Carti's album was done in early 2023, and it still hadn't seen a release.
One more time, Swamp Izzo and Playboi Carti's album is done.
Jordan, you dropping?
You heard it here first.
It seemed that his role was to host the album, similar to 1017 Thug and Call Me If You Get Lost. From this point onwards, Carti would go on a feature run, being featured on Future's Type Shit, Camila Cabello's I Love It and Field Trip on Vultures 2. All largely successful songs, some say due to his name being attached to them. Nothing of interest would be heard until June at a festival called Summer Smash, hosted by Lyrical Lemonade in Chicago. This was Carti's first performance of the year. It was expected that his setlist would consist of the 6 songs he dropped on Instagram, as well as the new features. All was expected until after he had played Fiend, when DJ Swamp Izzo spoke. An unfamiliar intro invades the ears of the crowd. Die-hard fans recognise the melody, All Red, a grail in the Carti community which was first heard in snippet form from an iCloud leak that garnered hype. Fans were incredibly lucky to hear a new Carti track live, but 2? A track with a blaring synth lead and raspy vocals named Fuck On My DJ, also produced by Filthy, would be previewed. The instrumentation and voice is reminiscent of a developed Whole Lotta Red sound. This was promising. It seemed like a variety of different styles would be used on I Am Music. On the same day, Carti would post himself wearing a jacket in collaboration with Pele Pele, a brand that has become synonymous with him in 2024. This jacket notably had built-in speakers. And a day after, the Skinny Jeans music video snippet, which notably featured a sample-based beat. 2 long months later, Carti came out from hibernation by posting himself and basketball player Angel Reese on his story, notably wearing back-to-front jerseys. This also spawned a wave of new Carti profile pictures by Glazers. In the following days, various NBA teams would repost Carti adopting their team's jersey, telling him to drop the album. This was either a genius marketing strategy or desperation from interns who were avid fans. Activity at this time of year was becoming common for Carti, but always led to disappointment, announcing an album that never came, Narcissist, in 2021, which featured an unapproved merch drop containing a $5,000 helmet. What? Anticipation skyrocketed when Carti performed a new song at The Weeknd's live show in Sao Paulo. Dubbed Timeless, this track leaned into a pop-inspired sound. It also featured all of Carti's different tonalities, which alternate between bars. This song was originally expected to be on I Am Music, as The Weeknd had not previewed a live verse. Shortly after, Carti was posting himself wearing a hat that said All Red in numerous stories on Instagram. Insiders claimed that his label Interscope were pressuring him to release the track as they saw its approval by fans on social media, despite it going against his wishes. Seemingly, they had won the debate as recent activity alluded to its release. Despite the past, unruly levels of optimism kept hopes high. Something was going to happen on September 13th. Radio silence. He had stopped his daily Instagram posting, leaving fans worried. Would he flake again during mass hype? Were fans about to experience peak disappointment yet again? An infamous figure returns to Playboi Carti's Instagram story.
New Carti announcement tonight!
This announcement was going to take place in 2 hours' time. Fans waited in their seats, anticipating something huge. When Carti posted Black Hane, it was serious.
New Carti tonight! Carti dropping again! New music tonight! Carti, Travis Scott, new Carti! Dropping tonight!
The time comes, hype is at an all-time high. The stars aligned, words that fans thought they would never see blessed their screens.
2024, music.
I Am Music, the album, link in bio. Fans flood to the website like a herd of cattle, only to see 3 merch bundles and a digital album pre-order, notably saying they will not be shipped until April 18th, 2025. Outrage was heard far and wide as it seemed that Carti would not be dropping anytime soon and was instead doing this for a cash grab. To potentially save face, he posted the all-red cover on his spam account, followed shortly by a release on streaming platforms. Fans won, in one shape or form, the September 13th curse was broken. Sheer disbelief drowned out the criticism as many were claiming Carti was taking heavy inspiration from Future's vocal inflections. This is because the song was recorded in early 2022, at a time when Carti's deep voice had not been fully developed. It was not long after the scrapped Narcissist, which we later found out its cancellation was due to Carti thinking he sounded too much like Future. Despite this, All Red garnered 7.5 million streams in its first day, and placed 15th on the Billboard Top 100, Carti's highest solo debut. However, this could not be played out for long as he had just announced the album officially. Fans were expecting a date at any moment. September 14th, Carti announces the Baby Boy birthday event which will be held in Brooklyn, New York, stating new music will be played. This hidden venue had a capacity of 3,000 and unfortunately the location would be leaked, leading to an uncontrollable crowd size. Authorities were alerted and responded accordingly, shutting down the event, causing huge uproar and disappointment, Carti himself even sharing his thoughts. In my mind, this was one of the biggest what-ifs in Carti history, alongside the release of the summer 2019 version of Whole Lotta Red and the early 2020 version, which would have changed the trajectory of his career massively. 2 days later, an all-red visualizer was uploaded to capitalise on the song's success. That same day, a lengthy snippet of an unheard song would be shared, a spacey Project X-esque beat with angelic vocals from Carti. It would be known as I Can See Ya. Besides music, a Cactus Plant flea market and Chrome Hearts collaboration jersey were showcased, as well as the finished Peli Peli speaker jacket, which was planned to be released alongside the album. All red hats, sweatshirts and hoodies would be uploaded to Carti's website on the 23rd as a part of the merch bundles. Unexpectedly, The Weeknd would announce that Timeless was releasing that Friday as a single for his album Hurry Up Tomorrow. This song was a huge accomplishment for them both, reaching 3rd on the Billboard Hot 100. A music video followed shortly after. But what would he do next? It would only be logical to drop the album, right? Well, Carti had different ideas. Besides a handful of fit pics, an appearance at a Travis Scott show, and unsurprisingly an uncleared feature on Chromacopia discovered through early vinyl pressings, his activity remained low in October. Although the rollout seems to be stationary, again, at the time of me recording this, Carti is set for a number of performances over the next month. Complex Con with Opium alongside Cactus Jack, a headline performance at Camp Flog Gnaw a week later, as well as Rolling Loud Thailand and Miami in December. This is a perfect opportunity for Carti to at the very least preview some new music, and at best, announce a date or even drop. With 2024 shortly coming to a close, a large number of big names have already released projects. Kanye, Tyler and Uzi, just to name a few. A Playboi Carti album would conclude the year perfectly, and I believe he won't disappoint. From what we've heard so far, I think we will be hearing Carti's magnum opus. All we can do is hope he delivers on his word. 2024 music.
2024 music. 2024